What's up, board game people? It's the beginning of the month, and I'm running a day behind at this point. We have a ton of news dropping with packages landing at people's doors, pledge managers opening and closing, and even some exciting campaigns gearing up for launch. Let's dive right in. I don't get any money from game companies for making my videos. I make them for people like you so we can stay up to date with the latest news in the hobby. If I get something wrong or we disagree about anything, let's chat in the comments. We have quite a few amazing projects live on crowdfunding now. Dungeons Universalis New Challenges is coming in for a landing with only a few days left. It looks like they've unlocked all the stretch goals, giving us a new campaign and even more classes this week, among other things. They're currently sitting around $310,000. If you're interested, you can check out our campaign guide linked in the video description. Idols of Torment is coming up on their last week on Kickstarter as well. This skirmish game encourages DIY and bring your own minis, but it comes with a pack of excellent STLs that allow you to print the minis if you like. They're sitting at around $120,000 and climbing. Temple of Horrors on Gamefound is nearing its final week and has officially funded with around 40,000 euros. They've been racing through stretch goals, deluxifying many components, and adding a few new classes to the game. Tainted Grail on Gamefound is swinging for the fences with 2 weeks left and a strong campaign. They've been unlocking all kinds of crazy things with daily reveals. Weird forms for the characters are on the top of that list. We also got a candle golem, an adventurer's notebook, and a new mini expansion full of map cards. Tainted Grail is sitting at just above $2.5 million right now. Launching this week, we have a variety of new games. On Kickstarter, we have The Frozen Frontier in Harrow County, and on Gamefound, we have a new deluxe version of Heart of Ice. If you want details on any of these campaigns, check out our upcoming campaigns video for October. The votes are in on Ivion Season 2 survey, and they've had some quite interesting results. Trait packs were the overwhelming favorite type of stretch goal, followed by acrylic tokens. Kickstarter still seems to be the platform of choice. It seems the backers would like something new from Season 3, and new boards with optional effects seem to be a preference. They talk about the possibilities of a free-for-all, a co-op campaign, and a solo mode. They also dropped a tidbit about being able to control some creatures on the map. We've had news from the Zerywia reprint. There is a slight delay in shipping of rewards from the last Kickstarter campaign due to a lack of wooden boards. They're moving the production of the wooden boards to a new facility, and they should be back on track soon. They're closing the late pledges at the end of October, and are focusing on getting the rest of the games from the other Kickstarter out. For the Ancestors Nkosi campaign, a new social media team has been brought in to help with promotion and keeping up with everyday social media stuff. They've added the Mazimu model to the Pledge Manager as an add-on, and they'll be charging cards soon for the first time. This will allow them to go back and add in the ancestors from the previous campaigns to the Pledge Manager. They've also added the option to buy concept art for the Asturians. Malyha Lands of Legend has dropped a production update. First off, there are 875 backers that still need to complete the Pledge Manager. Miniatures are starting the mold process, they're finalizing layouts for the printed materials, and translations are ongoing but taking a bit longer than expected. They're still on schedule though and hoping to stay the course. Waste Knights is chugging right along on schedule. This update, they're showing off the plastic components with minis that are headed to mass production. The playmat files have been sent off, and the artwork is going well with only a few cards left to finish. Cardboard tokens and guide layout are getting some love soon. The Pledge Manager for Uprising Titans of the First Age will be closing on October 14th. Be sure you've completed yours, and if you were an early backer, make sure you add the free dice pack to your order. It's not automatically added. Tabletopia now has Uprising available for play. Solar 175 has released their September update and all is going smoothly. They're on track to send out the games next year. Final proofs have been approved and they're waiting on the production samples now. They've also given us a tease of their next project set in the Solar 175 universe. Castles of Burgundy is preparing to launch their Pledge Manager in the upcoming weeks. The castle files are finishing modifications and samples should be available around the middle of the month. Paper component files are pretty well complete, and they're looking over the first few samples now. Some prototype copies have been sent out to reviewers so that some of the previews can be released around the time of the Pledge Manager opening to help people choose their pledge levels. The latest Battle Systems newsletter has gone out as they prepare for Spiel. They will have Maladum on hand for those wanting to try it out. This update, they're giving us a peek at the work-in-progress character board for Norinda. They're aiming to start the campaign after the holidays. They're still committed to not delaying the delivery date of next year. When we do see the campaign, many pieces will be production copies. The first wave of ISS Vanguard shipping continues. The EU hub has sent out over 90% of their parcels. Asia should see delivery starting soon. The UK hub is still waiting for the ship to dock. Hopefully it will this week. In Canada, orders should start going out next week. And finally, the US ship should have docked and the first packages should already be headed out. The Forsaken campaign ended at just over $500,000 and unlocked all stretch goals, including a new character, Big Wada Bimfro. They're sending out a big thank you to all backers, and now the hard work begins. The big box for Witcher Old World has arrived. The box is absolutely monstrous and fits snugly inside a Calyx cube. On the production side, non-language dependent paper components are in production. Translation is in progress. English and Polish versions are already being produced and will go out to sea in December with the first shipment. Other language versions will head to sea in January of 2023. Shipping for Etherfields Wave 2 continues. The EU has shipped out all parcels. The Canadian hub has shipped around 15% of packages, and the US has now sent out 87% of their load. Hurricane Ian has caused some slight delays, but they're back to shipping now. Harakiri is issuing a community challenge. They're hoping to have the community's help developing a scenario for Harakiri. They have a list of questions they'd like backers to answer to help out. The game has been out in the wild at a few conventions now, and the feedback from play sessions is outstanding. Component quality and gameplay in an anonymous survey have been rated higher than a 9. This update, they're showing off the new tracks for tracking rounds and Shogun's Malice. They're also giving us a look at the beautiful daimyo board in miniature. Finally, they've added another social stretch goal. They're simply saying it's a beautiful deluxification they think we would all love. This week, Dungeons of Doria is showing off the first sketches for the box cover. The scene presented represents the game very well, and it'll look stunning in full color. They've shared their feedback in the update and are asking backers for theirs as well. Marvel Zombies is back, showing off more of the plastic components you can look forward to. The dice seem pretty nondescript, and it's hard to get a reading on the base rings. The miniatures are looking pretty nice, and the translucent effect is well executed. The unboxing of the proof copy of League of Dungeoneers is live on Michael's channel. You can find a link in the video description. Orders in the Pledge Manager have been unlocked in case you'd like to add anything to your order. Darkest Dungeon has pushed out a small update. They gave us a quick spotlight on Weber, the fan-created boss, and then we get the news we're all waiting for. Ships are nearing port. In Europe, the ship is heading to Poland and will land around the 14th. The ship should arrive in the UK on the 9th. The US ship is due in on the 15th, and Canada's ship is headed to Ontario. For Australia, they're looking for a ship. Asia should be starting delivery soon. Address verification emails will be going out shortly for many of the hubs. Nemesis Lockdown language versions are well on their way to backers. In the EU, 77% of packages have shipped. In Canada, the containers have arrived at the hub, and they should start shipping shortly. It's happening. It's really happening. I think I might cry. Pencils are down. Poots has finally put his stamp of approval on the gambler's chest, and the production process has begun. They're still working on the game tray with the assistance of Noah from Game Trays. The Dark Herald this month is detailing the Griffin expansion, which is looking quite amazing. I'm loving the armor sets from this one. Chronicles of Drunagor has given us an update on delivery, Foreteller, and Essen. All US and Canada orders have officially shipped. In the EU, items are in the warehouse and getting ready to ship. In the UK, the ship is in port. please contact CGS if you did not receive your foreteller code. They'll be at Essen in booth 6J109. This week, I put out a campaign guide for Dungeon Crusade, who's running through the last few weeks of their late backing and pledge manager. Roger of Groovis Games has also been showing off the production proofs they received, and he will be publishing a special showcase video very soon going over the 6 warfare types, hero special attributes, and true party building. Check out his channel and Dungeon Crusade linked in the video description. Agemonia's latest update shows them closing in on full-fledged production. Level 3 is complete with level 4 and 5 well underway. They have all miniatures approved for manufacturing, and the first tray sample is being shown. The timeline is being shifted slightly. They're conservatively aiming to ship in Q2 of 2023 now, more likely late Q1, but they're giving themselves some padding. They go on and show off many of the component samples and give a teaser for the Guardian of Loch Tor. Reggie Games has pushed out a monthly update for Primal The Awakening. Everything is proceeding well with the final development stages. They're closing in on being print ready with final layouts being complete, and the majority of the work is being done on the English proofreading. The first 2 batches of miniatures out of 3 are in mold production. Estimated shipping is set for Q1 2023, and shipping will be charged as close as possible to shipping dates. They've also highlighted the KOA miniatures unboxing and a spoiler-filled spotlight on the grand finale. It's just 3 short months until the launch of Andromeda's Edge on Gamefound. This update, they're giving a preview of the Nebulon Cloud People faction, and announcing that they'll be present at Essen with Lucky Duck Games in Hall 5, booth 5D115. The pledge manager for Elder Scrolls Skyrim is officially closed. Shipping is well underway. In the EU, the ship should arrive on October 5th. Australia will begin fulfillment on the 10th. Asia is just waiting for the start date to send the game out. The UK will see their ship between the 3rd and the 15th. The ship for the US has arrived in port and containers are on rail to the hub. It's sure getting close now. The pledge manager for Escape from Stalingrad Z is now live on Gamefound. Unfortunately, the opening came with some bad news. The sizing of the molds was not correct and they're having to start over. This will delay the project by 4 to 6 weeks. The print and play version will be released this month. All printed material files are receiving the final touches and should be sent out soon. Tabletop Simulator will be available this month as well. The pledge manager for Anastyr will officially close on October 31st. Make sure you get your pledges completed. They will be back next week with a closer look at the Bone Swamps. The latest Arydia update is showing off the paint samples of the miniatures. For painted minis, these are looking absolutely fantastic. The spotlight for this update is on combat playtesting, of which they've recorded 712 sessions so far. They're also being joined by Andrew Ronzeno, who's contributing some story elements for the game. Dawn of Madness has put out a nice long update detailing exact production statuses. Right now, they're targeting Q2 2023 for shipping at the latest. Translations are ongoing. Individual stories are the biggest hangup, but progress is being made on them. Miniature production for Wave 1 is complete and playtesting is ongoing. The English version of Vampire Masquerade's chapters is in production at the factory. They're ramping up to get ready to ship the English version as soon as it's ready. Translations are complete and they're proofing everything now. They also took a moment to announce their next game, Werewolf the Apocalypse Retaliation, which is launching in November. Well, that's quite a bit of news. Let's take a quick look at the retail releases for the week. Arkham Horror LCG, the Scarlet Keys Investigator expansion came out this week, kicking off the latest cycle for the card game. The Marvel Champions Mutant Genesis expansion has arrived and the X-Men are coming in strong. As backup, they released the Marvel Champions Cyclops and Phoenix hero packs. Finally, the Star Wars Legion Echo-based Defenders have released. This is packed full of Rebel goodness and will take your Rebel army to new grounds. So that's it for the news this week. I'm running a bit behind, but no worries, I'll get caught up soon. We still have a campaign guide coming up this week, and our month in review for September isn't too far off either. Please consider subscribing to help the channel grow and reach more gamers like yourself. You can also join us on Discord at the link in the video description. Thank you to everyone watching and commenting. It's always great to talk to you all. Take care and play something adventurous tonight.